All right, so welcome to another deep dive, you guys. Today, we're going to be exploring Megan Fox's pregnancy announcement. And as I think you'll see, there's quite a bit more to discover here than just, your typical celebrity baby news.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's really the layers of meaning in this announcement that I think make it so fascinating, especially when we consider, the couple's history.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like, just your average, everyday Instagram post. So for anyone out there who might need like a super quick recap, we're talking about actress Megan Fox and musician Machine Gun Kelly, and they're engaged, and this will be their first child together.
Exactly. But it's also worth noting that this is Fox's fourth child.
Oh, right.
She's got 3 sons already from her previous marriage with Brian Austin Green.
Yeah.
And Kelly also has a daughter from a past relationship.
Right. So definitely blended families are going to be part of the picture here. But what really caught my eye, honestly, was the announcement itself, like the visual of it. Megan cradling her baby bump, and it's covered in this black liquid, and she's holding up a positive pregnancy test. It's, I don't know, it's visually striking, to say the very least. But then you read the caption, and wow, it just like hits you right in the feels. She writes, "Nothing is ever really lost. Welcome back." And then an angel emoji and a red heart emoji. And she's actually quoting lyrics from Kelly's song Last November.
And those lyrics are super significant because they tie directly back to a previous pregnancy loss that the couple experienced. So you're kind of immediately drawn into this emotional weight of the announcement, right?
Yeah.
It becomes about so much more than just like, oh, yay, we're expecting a new baby. It speaks to resilience and this hope and this love that endured, even in the face of a loss like that.
It really does. It really does make you just kind of stop and consider their whole journey as a couple. I mean, just the black liquid imagery alone, I think, is really powerful. It could symbolize so many things, right? Like cleansing or rebirth, maybe even, I don't know, like some kind of baptism after experiencing such a, difficult loss. And then the angel emoji, it's almost like she's welcoming back a soul.
I think that's a really beautiful observation, honestly. It really speaks to the power of symbolism, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to deal with something as personal and sensitive as a pregnancy loss.
Absolutely. And it just makes it even more poignant when you consider that Meghan actually opened up about this very loss in her recent poetry collection, Pretty Boys Are Poisonous.
That's right, yeah. She included some very raw and powerful poems in there. They offer this really, intimate glimpse into the emotional intensity of that experience. Like, in one poem, she described seeing the ultrasound of their baby girl at 10 weeks and a day, and then later, facing that devastating reality of the miscarriage. And the poem is just filled with this sense of longing and grief, even self-blame. There's this line where she asks, maybe if you had, maybe if I had. It's just this heartbreaking exploration of those complex emotions that often accompany a loss like that.
Yeah. It is so deeply personal. And just the fact that she chose to share this publicly, I think, speaks volumes. It kind of invites us all to think about the pressures that public figures face navigating personal grief in such a public sphere.
Absolutely. And it also adds yet another layer of depth, I think, to understanding that welcome back lyric in the pregnancy announcement, right? It almost feels like a message of hope, like a way of honoring the life they lost while welcoming this new life into the world, like a bittersweet, acknowledgement of their journey together.
Definitely, yeah. It's just this powerful reminder that even amidst the joy of, welcoming a new life, the memory of loss can still be there, lingering. And it also highlights, I think, just the power of sharing those personal experiences. It can potentially help others feel less alone in their own journey with grief.
I completely agree. By opening up about her experience, Meghan really contributes to this larger societal conversation about miscarriage, which is a topic that's often, unfortunately shrouded in silence and stigma.
It is, yeah. Before we kind of dive deeper into that whole conversation, though, let's maybe rewind a little bit and trace their relationship timeline. I mean, it's been quite a whirlwind romance, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah. They met on the set of Midnight in the Switchgrass back in early 2020. And they went public with their relationship pretty quickly, even featuring in Kelly's Bloody Valentine music video together.
And then came the engagement in January of 2022, which was, well, let's just say memorable. That whole banyan tree setting, the, drinking each other's blood comment.
Yeah.
It definitely fueled the media frenzy, surrounding their relationship.
Yeah. And it also kind of gave us a glimpse into their dynamic as a couple, right?
Yep.
Bold, passionate, unafraid to defy those expectations.
Exactly, exactly. So when you consider all of this, that whirlwind romance, that crazy publicized engagement, the very public way they've chosen to handle their grief, and now this pregnancy announcement, it just raises some really interesting questions about how all of this experience might end up shaping their approach to parenthood.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much to unpack there, and I think it'll be super fascinating to explore those nuances as we continue our deep dive.
I think it's really intriguing, too, is how, their individual personalities and even their career paths might kind of intersect with their whole parenting journey. Oh,
Oh,
totally. Yeah, you've got Megan Fox, right? Like she first captured our attention in those films like Transformers and Jennifer's Body. And she's always, she's been known for being outspoken and unafraid to kind of embrace that edgy persona that she has.
and then you've got, on the other hand, Machine Gun Kelly, who has definitely made his own name in the music world, with that unique blend of rock and rap that he does. And he's known for, well, I mean, his bold fashion choices, definitely, but also those lyrics that often, push the boundaries a little bit.
For sure, for sure. So, I mean, how will these two strong personalities, approach parenthood?
Yeah.
Especially given, their history and the fact that they've got such a public relationship. It just makes you wonder, what their actual parenting style is going to look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a question a lot of people are asking, and honestly, I think while we can only really speculate, their past actions and statements even might offer some clues.
Yeah, like their engagement, for example.
Yeah.
That whole blood drinking ritual, while definitely not traditional, it really did highlight, I think, their intense bond and their willingness to just challenge those norms, those societal expectations.
Exactly. It kind of suggests this desire to forge their own path, even when it comes to something as traditional as, getting married.
Hmm.
And it's not really a stretch to think that that same mindset could extend to their parenting approach as well.
Yeah, I can totally see that. It'll be really fascinating to see, I think, how they navigate that whole balance between their public personas, which are so strong and out there, and then the private world of, family life, especially with, I mean, let's be honest, the constant media scrutiny that they face.
Yeah, you've touched upon a really, really crucial point there. The pressures of celebrity parenthood. They're immense. Every decision they make, every parenting choice, it's going to be analyzed and dissected by the public.
Oh, yeah. And let's not forget that whole added layer of complexity with, their blended family dynamic.
Yeah.
Megan's got her 3 sons and Kelly's got his daughter. I mean, that's a lot of individual personalities and a lot of needs to consider.
Absolutely. And it's not just about Meghan and Kelly at this point, right? It's about creating a nurturing and supportive environment for all of their children. I think it's a good reminder that blending families, it can be a challenge, even under the best of circumstances.
It really does, though. It makes you kind of appreciate those complexities, right? Building a new family unit while still respecting those individual histories and somehow finding ways to connect and grow together.
And I think within those complexities, there also lies the potential for something really, really special.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunity to create a family that truly embraces individuality and celebrates the unique strengths of each member of the family.
I like that. That's a really beautiful way to look at it, I think. And knowing Megan and Kelly's, track record so far, they're not going to shy away from doing things their own way. That's for sure.
I don't doubt that for a second. And I think with their shared resilience, which they've shown us, and their undeniable love for each other, I have no doubt that they're going to approach parenthood with that same passion and intensity that they bring to everything else in their lives.
Yeah. Their willingness to just, be open about their struggles too, with the miscarriage, that could also shape how they approach parenting. Maybe it'll encourage a more honest and vulnerable approach, which could end up fostering a much deeper connection with their kids down the road.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could definitely signal a shift towards a more authentic and transparent style of parenting, where they don't shy away from, difficult conversations or real life challenges.
Right, exactly. And who knows, maybe their, unconventional ways will spark a whole new conversation about what it actually means to be a modern family in today's world. It's interesting to think about how this pregnancy announcement, especially with, the context of their past loss, might actually impact their public image overall. I mean, they've always kind of projected this untouchable aura, you know what I mean? But now I feel like we're starting to see a whole new layer of vulnerability there.
Oh, for sure. You're totally right. And I think that vulnerability can be incredibly powerful, actually, because it allows their fans to connect with them on a much, much deeper level. They're not just these larger-than-life celebrities anymore. They're like human beings navigating the complexities of life just like everybody else.
Exactly, exactly. It challenges this whole idea that, celebrities are somehow immune to heartbreak and hardship, right?
Right.
This announcement, with that kind of subtle acknowledgement of their past pain, I think it serves as a really good reminder that everybody faces challenges, no matter, fame or fortune or any of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And their willingness to even share that vulnerability might even inspire other people to be more open about their own experiences, especially with pregnancy loss.
Yeah.
You know, and it could help break down that stigma that so often, unfortunately, surrounds it.
I think that's so, so important. These personal stories, even ones shared by celebrities, can have like a ripple effect. And they can foster empathy and understanding on such a larger scale.
Oh, 100%. And, speaking of impact, it'll be interesting to see how this new chapter influences, Meghan's career trajectory, I think. Because she's been very vocal in the past about the difficulties of balancing motherhood with the, demands of Hollywood, right?
She has, yeah. She's spoken pretty candidly about the pressures and expectations, especially on women in the industry, especially when it comes to, body image and aging, all of that.
Exactly. Now, with, a fourth child on the way,
Yeah.
it's very possible that she'll kind of reevaluate her priorities and even the types of roles that she decides to take on.
Yeah, maybe we'll see her gravitate more towards projects that align with, her evolving values and experiences as a mom.
Yeah. Or maybe even she'll leverage her platform to advocate for greater representation of mothers in Hollywood, to challenge the industry's often very narrow portrayals of womanhood.
It's true. It's true. Either way, though, it's clear that Meghan and Kelly are definitely stepping into this whole new phase of their lives, right? A phase that's, I think, marked by both this immense joy and also some really thoughtful reflection.
Absolutely. And as they kind of navigate, I guess, the uncharted waters of parenthood, I can't help but just be fascinated by the unique path they're going to forge.
Yeah.
Because it's sure to be just as unconventional and captivating as their relationship has been so far.
Well, I think we've definitely covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but it definitely leaves us with plenty to think about, right? How might their, very public and often unconventional approach to their relationship influence their whole journey into parenthood?
I mean, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Only time will really tell. But I think one thing is for sure, their story reminds us that life is this tapestry that's woven with both joy and sorrow, and that even in the face of loss, hope and love can prevail.
It really can, yeah. And I think their story really encourages us all to kind of embrace vulnerability, find strength in shared experiences, and never, ever stop exploring those complexities of life. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep questioning and keep the conversation going.